I mean, it kind of feels wrong though to talk about lifting and working out after just like making fun of a stronger man conference, right? Though, are we not just like playing into these stereotypes anyway? Maybe that's the joke though. We're doing it ironically. Yeah, I feel like I've been preparing for like this bodybuilding competition for like 3 years when it should take like 3 months to prep for it. It hasn't been 3 years. It's been about a year. But the coach that I was with up until a few months ago, it just wasn't a right fit. Coaches I've learned who are in this, they have the folks that they really invest in, and then they have the folks who help kind of fund them. And so it just wasn't kind of interested in moving me as much towards the show quickly as he was, I think, just kind of keeping me on the line. So it was kind of the slow path rather than the fast path. I'm like, I can't eat like a competitive bodybuilder for years. Like, the eating regimen is super strict. Like I can't just do this month in and month out. So transition, found a different coach. Unfortunately did that like just after the prep time that is legitimate for spring shows. There are only spring shows and fall shows. So it'll be, if I do it, it will be in the fall or not at all. So we're moving in that direction. Have changed up some of the eating plans. Have doubled down on some of the workout stuff, and it's interesting. Like I had really been losing ground over the last year. Fascinating. Like you're paying, like I'm paying with $200 a month or whatever for a coach to specifically for this, for these events, which is normal for what you'd pay somebody to help prepare you to get here. And I'm like losing ground over the space of that, 9 months or a year time.
Oh,
Like
wow.
I'm watching my body go backwards rather than forwards towards the goal. So it's nice to finally have somebody who I think is a little bit more intentional, meshes a little bit more with me. Love the old coach, but this guy is just a little bit more intentional and tuned in. And so finally starting to make progress in the gym and on lifts and get back to where I was. And so, at my age, I'm like, you don't want to lose ground
Yeah,
because
I know.
you may never get that ground back. It's not like,
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
25 and, with 27, I can still be in great shape. It's like, when you're 46, you're like, you don't gain ground. The hill is always headed down. You just hold it on.
yeah.
So the fact that I've been able to like climb back up the backside of that hill a little bit, is I'm thankful for that, but we'll see if I still have enough energy and dedication in me to get me to a place where I will not be embarrassed standing on a platform.
So yeah, if that all fails, my gym here, the muscle gym I go to, does in the spring. So they just did it at the end of March, but they call it "Show Off Your Shit Show."
Okay, I love that. That's
Yeah,
that's something the church should copy from the world. Is
yeah,
that at least
it's
that
great.
title? I love that.
It's and it's kind of guys and gals like yourself and myself. Really, like she's trying to get. Maybe I'll do it next year. The lady who
Let's
runs the
do
gym
it.
trying to. Yeah, you should come up and do it. It's great.
I'll do it
And
with
she
you.
does it. She runs it like a show, but it's a joke too. It's kind of a fun day. I've attended it and watched it last year, and it's a fun thing. So yeah, maybe come up in the spring and
Yeah,
we
I'll
can
come
do
up. I'll come up and watch it. And I mean, do it, man. Come on.
that. Yeah,
That would be
yeah,
awesome. Yeah, the interesting thing is, being out on the East Coast, especially in the Northeast, there's a lot more access, I think, to stuff up there than there is in other parts. Like Florida, was rough. Alabama is rough. Like, there are communities and pockets of barbell clubs and a lot of weightlifting stuff that isn't present everywhere. And so, even us talking about community today, I wish I lived up where you were because, you've got a lot more kind of support and options and opportunities that that those folks down in the deep south have.
yeah. No, that's true. That's true. Yeah, I'm still on the same. Nothing's really changed for me with CrossFitting, and I did get hurt, which set me back. I messed my knee up again. I didn't go to the doctor like an idiot, but I've had the same injury. It just flared up. I call it a flare up, but it set me back for like a month. I did all my exercises that I know the doctor would have me do, and it got better in a
I
good
mean, if
amount
you're
of
not
time.
if you're not recovering from an injury or preparing for an injury, is it really CrossFit?
Yeah, yeah,
I mean, once you kind of get into those older, CrossFit
yeah.
ages, it's like you're
Well,
either recovering from an injury or you're just prepping for your next one.
I know. Well, I heard it doing an air squat. Air squat.
Oh my
Um,
gosh.
yeah,
Oh my
it was a lot
gosh.
of it was a lot of air squat. It was just an overuse injury, is what it was. But so I got
It
to,
had to be. That had to be it.
yeah, yeah. Anyways,
Go be with your son, man. We'll see you next week.
Jack. See you, man.